All right, we are just getting going, and we're getting going a little bit later than we wanted to. Let's see. Y'all are kind of seeing the back of my phone right now. I'll get this flipped around. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, so we are back, and this week, hi everybody. Hi Nikki, Sunita. We were asked to explain the differences in our whites. At Masterworks by Amy Becker, we prefer to work with sculpting whites that level, because sculpting whites that do not level tend to be brittle. So sculpting whites that do not level need a clear base underneath them in order for them to last a long time. It was funny because when they first came out with non-leveling whites, I really liked it because I was an acrylic user and it stayed where I put it, and then I could pull the gel over the top. Well, once I figured out what worked best, I'm sculpting the smile lines with the opaque or with the clear, and then going in with the white. And I find that that works better even with using a non-leveling white. Now, at Masterworks, we have our Master Sculpt whites. There are 3 different colors of leveling white. It's the exact same formula, except the white is our most natural. Our extra white has a little bit extra pigment in it, and then our competition white has an even higher level of pigment plus a little bit of blue pigment so that it pops against a pink nail bed, and that's for competition. So those are our 3 leveling whites. I pretty much stick with Master Sculpt Extra White in the salon all day long. Oh, I forgot to tell you, if this is something that you would like to share, iOS, Android users either swipe left or up, and you can share this broadcast if you like what you're seeing. Tap the screen. It'll give me hearts. Let me know that I'm on the right track. So I want to get to it pretty quick, the differences, because what I'm going to do is first of all, I'm going to come over here, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this really well. I opened up all my whites. Okay, there we go. So right here is our competition white. Hang on, I'm going to use a pointer. Competition white, extra white, white, and then we do have our fixed white, which does not level. And then we also have our white gel polish, which does cure without a residual layer. And there is a trick if you like to polish on whites that I'm going to show you at the end of this this broadcast. So I'm going to hand the camera over to my daughter, and I'm just going to go over how to sculpt them on. And I'm also going to take this out of my phone case. So sorry about this. I really need a new gel system. Well, I can tell you, we keep things extremely simple. We've cut out so many steps in our product line, and our gels are low to no heat. They're stronger than any acrylic I have ever used. Masterworks is pretty. Oh, thank you very much, Anna. So it's something that it is very user-friendly. It levels into place. There are just a few things that you need to know when it comes to applying gels, especially if you are used to acrylic, and one of them is use more product than what you actually need, because there will always be gel on your brush when you remove your brush. And don't play with it. You got to get your brush off it, and it finishes doing the work, unlike acrylic that you have to sculpt it in. So here, I'm going to flip the phone around, and here we go. I let my daughter have it. So the first one I'm going to do is going to be our white. And when I put on white gel, I'm going to show you how much I pick up. I actually pick up quite a bit, but whites I always like to put on in 2 coats because I want that first coat to make a really good bond with the natural nail. You do not need to put down a clear base underneath the white if you don't want to. You could actually sculpt the nail bed, put the form on, then cure 2 layers of white, and then you can start filing. Now I'm going to put this white, the first coat of white, in the light, clean my brush off, and now I'm going to do the extra white. After I get 2 coats on, you will be able to see the difference between the 2. The first coat isn't going to look all that different to you, but the other thing you'll notice is I never touch my smile line with the tip of my brush until I am in the corners, and I'll show you that with the competition white next.
Oh, they're saying your sound is kind of fading out. A couple of people.
Ooh.
All right. Now they can't hear.
Oh no.
Can you guys hear now?
Is that doing anything? Is that doing anything? Uh-oh.
Anna says better.
Okay.
They can hear it's just muffled, so I guess speak loudly.
Okay, I will try. Is this better?
Scream.
I know. I'm hurting Kelly's ears, but...
No.
Okay, so this is the competition white. And when you do coats of white, you can see, do you see how it's kind of transparent? It's not perfectly covered. That's the type of coverage you want for your first coat. It needs to be thin so that it makes a good bond with the natural nail. Then once you have cured that first layer for 2 minutes, you go in with the, and this is our regular white. Now you can see I always push the gel in front of the brush, and that gives me a really sharp smile line. If you try doing it with the tip of your brush like this, we see a lot of people try and sculpt the smile lines with the tip of their brush. You actually end up ruining your smile line or making it harder on yourself. Once you file it, it'll file in really nice because your smile line will depend on how you've sculpted your pink, not your white. So I'm going to put this in for the second coat of white. I'm going to do the second coat of extra white here. And just, you can see I fully loaded my brush in order to do it because it's very easy to pull off excess gel, and rather than try and stretch it, I don't have enough for this nail, so I'm going to grab a little bit more. If you try to stretch your whites out, typically you will pull it out of an area that you need it in. So it's always better to go back and just push, and you want to push gel in. You don't want to stretch it out. Not your second coat. Your first coat you can because you want it to be thin. But your second coat that you don't want to be thin, don't pull out. Like it would feel natural to want to pull it out. But then when you looked at it from the side view, you would see a big dip in the nail. So you don't want that. All right. Moving on to the competition white. And normally the competition white I would use in competition with our Master Gel Clear Pink. And that's for a sculpture nail competition. If it's a salon success, I like to use this warm opaque that I currently have on this tip. Okay, I can always pull down from the sides, but never out of the center of that nail, so that the side view looks like this. Okay, put that in. Now, the other thing is for competition, I use this for competition, but there are a lot of nail techs that really like it for in the salon. Those of you that are used to working with a non-leveling white, that would be our fixed white. I'm going to pull some of this up. So this is our fixed white. And you can see it's not moving, it's not leveling in place. I can put it on its side. And when I'm sculpting with this, you can use 2 coats, but I do prefer to use 1 thin coat with this. And if you need to, just add a very thin layer of clear master gel over the top. It'll help with the strength, because like I said, whenever you have a sculpting white that doesn't level, it is not as strong as our leveling whites, or as a leveling white. It tends to be that way no matter which gel product line I tried. It held true. All right, so with this white, again, I'm pushing the bead of white gel into the smile line, not the tip of my brush. And it's a lot of pushing and pulling, or you can see me kind of pushing, pulling, or even I kind of liken it to scrubbing once I start to try and fill out the rest of the tip, because you don't want to pull it down like this. All you do is stretch it out and take away your strength from the middle of the nail. And I can already see that I want I'm going to need to grab some more white to finish this tip.
Mina Love says it's like etching.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So this is what I mean by... Oh, hang on a second. I grabbed something funny. All right. Here we go. So I'm putting it in, and I'm, kind of like scrubbing it in. And when you go back and forth like this, you will also bring any air bubbles to the surface, which is very important. Mostly for competition, it's important. You don't want to file into an air bubble, but this is how I would apply a non-leveling white. And when I started doing gels, and here it is from the side view, when I started doing gels, I used a non-leveling. I learned on non-leveling products and then moved over to a leveling product because it does, I can work faster with it because it goes on, you get your brush off, and the gel will finish doing the work. So I'm going to put this in the light. And now, lastly, what I wanted to show you was if you are painting on if you don't like to sculpt, or let's say you still need to take a gel e-file class because you're struggling with cutting out your smile lines, the best, and you want to paint them on, the best tool to use is an angle brush, like this. And I'm going to get the polish on one side of that brush, and I start in one corner, and what's nice about the angle brush is it will get all the way in that corner without flooding your cuticle. Then I'm not going to stop. Okay, so anyway, because I have that flat surface, I can get my smile line really, really crisp and sharp. And the same thing, do you see how I am, can you see how I'm actually pushing the gel in front of the brush? You'll always get a straighter smile line. If you have to go back out afterwards and clean it out, it will always look smudged. So when you polish on smile lines, don't go back and clean it out. Put it on right the first time. If you make a mistake, wipe it off and start over, rather than having a smudged looking painted on smile line. So, but what I wanted to show you with our paint on white is our paint on white is so densely pigmented and very thin that you can polish on a smile line with one coat and not have that bump right here at the smile line to contend with when you're finished. I just want to make sure I'm hitting the solid surface. The only thing that I will caution you, if you do use our paint on white, is don't get it on too thick, because if you get it on too thick, you can get a couple little bubbles that will surface. So get your corners in nice and sharp. Nice and sharp there. It'll level in a little bit, and then we're going to cure it. But here, I will turn it sideways so you can see it really will level out very nicely without getting a bump. There's almost nothing to contend with. And what I'll do is I will cure that so that you can see it. Now, I want to put these next to each other. This is our Master Sculpt White. Here, let me do this. Oop, well, that's not going to help. This is our Extra White. Our Competition White. You can see this is a little blue. And then our Fixed White, which actually when you... sorry about that, guys. When you file these, it shows, it'll show up even more. And the Fixed White actually will look like an acrylic when you're done with it. So that is how we sculpt our whites, and the difference between these guys. I'm just going to set them aside a second. All right, this is the painted on white that I just did, and I can touch it. It's maybe been about a minute, and there's no sticky layer. So what I would do is use our Master Gel Clear. Master Gel Clear. Oh, it's been a long day. And I'm just going to apply it very thin as a sealant, because I want to show you that you don't need to worry about that little bump there. But you do need to get enough on as well. And with Master Gel, when you're using it as a sealant, take nice, they're pink and whites. So really, it works really very well. I just want to make sure I'm probably going to use these tips for some artwork later. I have a little bubble right there. Just going to drag that off. So I believe that's going to be it for our broadcast. Let me just flip it around. Can you turn the camera on? Okay. And were there any other questions before I left? Because I think I've got a client coming in any minute now. But that's it for this broadcast. You're welcome, Anna. Let us know if there's anything you want to see. Does the sealant keep whites white? Yes, our sealant, which is our Master Gel Clear. I will not be at the Nail Expo in which city? The one in Florida. I'm going to be out of town I believe at that time. But anyway, the Master Gel Clear also has a little bit of a bluish base to it. So it goes on extremely clear. It doesn't yellow. It doesn't discolor, and it stays. Oh, South Carolina. That's right. No, I'm going to be missing that one because I'm going to be out of town. But we are going to be setting up our classes for the next upcoming year. If we can get 10 people in your area, we'll come out and do a class by you. If you missed a corner with the gel, can you go in with the white paint? Absolutely. However, the white paint is so stark. The one you can use it with the Master Sculpt Fixed White and the Master Sculpt Competition White. It's almost too white for the white and the extra white. But that was a great question, because I have run into that from time to time. So let us know if you'd like a class in your area. I know that pink and whites are starting to make a comeback again, so we're starting to get more and more requests for those. And that just went in and out. One of the biggest classes that we're having in the upcoming year is a class that's not currently offered in the nail industry, and that is a gel e-file class. The e-file courses that are available are just the bomb for acrylic, but they don't tend to spend a lot of time with gel, and gel is very opposite, not only in its application but also in how it is filed or e-filed. So we, for the Northwest Nail Tech Retreat in a few weeks, we're going to be teaching a course where I will teach how to e-file with the gel, how to finish file, and troubleshooting with that class. So we have that. Kyra Frazier, she is teaching a gel e-file class, I think tomorrow or Sunday. So if you are in the Knoxville, Tennessee area, contact Kyra.
October 2nd.
October 2nd, sorry. Not this
Sunday.
weekend. So
it is Sunday.
It is Sunday. Okay. Oh, I can't believe October is already here. So yeah, get a hold of Kyra if you're interested in taking that class, because she's an amazing teacher. And I think that's all I have for you today. So remember, share this broadcast, swipe up or sideways, whether you're a Droid or an iOS user, and let us know what you'd like our next broadcast to be about, and we'll get that up. All right. Thanks. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Good job. You look kind of tired.